Dear students, today I am going to explain a short and sweet poem which tells us the profound truth about human life. Which is that poem? It is Indian Weavers, written by Sarojini Naidu. In the introduction, we come to know about some important points about Sarojini Naidu. That is, Sarojini Naidu was a political activist, feminist, and the first Indian woman who became the president of the Indian National Congress. Then, she was an important figure in India's struggle for independence. And because of her melodious voice, she was known as the Nightingale of India. In this poem, the poetess talks about three types of garments the weavers weave at three particular times of a day. Each stanza of the poem represents three important events of human life, that is, birth, marriage, and death. Now let us study the poem. स्टूडेंट्स, हम पहले इसका हिंदी अनुवाद देखेंगे. इंडियन वीवर्स मतलब भारत के बुनकर, भारतीय बुनकर, या जिनको जुलाहे भी कहते हैं. जुलाहा मतलब वीवर. सो इंडियन वीवर्स मीन्स भारत के बुनकर या भारत के जुलाहे. अभी पहला स्टैंजा देखेंगे. वीवर्स वीविंग एट ब्रेक ऑफ डे मतलब जुलाहो, हे बुनकरो, तुम दिन की शुरुआत में मतलब सुबह सुबह बुनाई यहाँ पे कर रहे हो. वाई डू यू वीव अ गारमेंट सो गे? तो आप यहाँ पे इतना क्या कहेंगे उसे, सो गे, इतना मन को खुशी देने वाला, मन को रिझाने वाला, मन को हर्षाने वाला कपड़ा क्यों बुन रहे हो? तुम इतना सुंदर कपड़ा क्यों बुन रहे हो? ऐसे पूछती है कवयित्री. ब्लू एज द विंग ऑफ अ हेल्सियन वाइल्ड. वो कपड़ा कैसा है? वो इतना नीला है कि जैसे कि जंगली धीर के पंख. जुलाहे जो कपड़ा बुन रहे हैं उसका रंग कैसा है? चमकीला नीला. इसके लिए ऐसे कहा है कि इतना नीला कि जैसे धीर पक्षी जो होता है, हेल्सियन, हेल्सियन मीन्स धीर पक्षी, उसके पंख के जैसा नीला रंग, वैसे कपड़े जुलाहे बुन रहे हैं. We weave the robes of a newborn child. अभी कवयित्री उनको पूछती है कि तुम ये क्या बुन रहे हो, क्यों बुन रहे हो? तो जुलाहे उत्तर दे रहे हैं कि हम एक नवजात शिशु के लिए कपड़े बुन रहे हैं. न्यूबॉर्न चाइल्ड के लिए हम कपड़े बुन रहे हैं. अभी दूसरा स्टैंजा देखेंगे हम. वीवर्स वीविंग एट फॉल ऑफ नाइट मतलब संध्या काल का समय है, शाम का समय है. इस समय में तुम कौन सी बुनाई कर रहे हो जुलाहो? वीवर्स मतलब जुलाहो, तुम इस संध्या काल के समय में कौन सी बुनाई कर रहे हो? वाई डू यू वीव अ गारमेंट सो ब्राइट? तुम इतना चमकीला कपड़ा क्यों बुन रहे हो? बुनकर जो कपड़ा बुन रहे हैं उसका रंग बहुत ही चमकीला है, ब्राइट है. इसके लिए कवयित्री ऐसे पूछती है. like the plumes of a peacock, purple and green. वो कपड़ा कैसा है, उसका रंग कैसा है, जैसे कि मोर के पंख हो, बैंगनी और हरे रंग के, like plumes of a peacock, मतलब मोर के पंख के जैसा. पर्पल एंड ग्रीन मतलब बैंगनी और हरे, इस प्रकार के रंग का वस्त्र बुन रहे हो जुलाहे. तो कवयित्री पूछती है कि क्यों इस तरह का सुंदर वस्त्र तुम बुन रहे हो. तो जुलाहे उत्तर देते हैं उसका, वी वीव द मैरिज वेल्स ऑफ अ क्वीन. हम रानी के विवाह का घूंघट बुन रहे हैं. रानी के विवाह के समय जो घूंघट लगते हैं वो अभी हम बुन रहे हैं. इसके लिए इतने सुंदर रंगों का उपयोग करके हम वस्त्र बना रहे हैं. ऐसे वो जवाब देते हैं. अभी हम अगला स्टैंजा देखेंगे. थर्ड स्टैंजा में देखिए, weavers weaving solemn and still, what do you weave in the moonlight chill. अभी ये जो वीवर्स है उनको पूछती है, जुला हो गंभीरता और शांति से तुम बुनाई कर रहे हो, तुम इतनी ठंडी चांदनी रात में क्या बुन रहे हो. ऐसे पूछ रही है कवयित्री. व्हाइट एज अ फेदर एंड व्हाइट एज अ क्लाउड. तुम वस्त्र कैसा, तुम्हारा वस्त्र का रंग कैसा है, पंख जैसा सफेद और बादल जैसा सफेद. पंख का रंग सफेद है और बादल का भी सफेद है, और उसी प्रकार का एक वस्त्र वो बुन रहे हैं बुनकर. तो बुनकर जवाब देते हैं, वी वीव अ डेड मैन्स फ्यूनरल श्राउड. हम क्या कर रहे हैं, एक मृत मनुष्य के अंतिम संस्कार का कफन बुन रहे हैं. इस प्रकार से हमने इसका हिंदी अनुवाद देख लिया है. Now I am explaining the poem in English. Weavers weaving at break of day, why do you weave a garment so gay? The poetess asks the weavers, O weavers, you are weaving at the break of the day. That means in the morning, early morning time. You are weaving. Why are you weaving? Why do you weave a garment so gay? Why do you weave a cloth that is so happy? Happy means gay means beautifully colored garment or cloth. So what is the color of the garment? Blue as the wing of a halcyon wild. We weave the robes of a newborn child. So the weavers are giving answer to her. They are answering that we are weaving robes for a newborn child. And what is the color of the robes? Blue as the wing of the halcyon bird. The halcyon bird is blue in color and very bright blue color. So they are weaving the robes which are blue in color, and the color looks like that of a halcyon bird's wing. So in this stanza we find that break of the day means early morning, and early morning is symbolic of birth here, birth of a human being. So the occasion of birth is celebrated by the weavers here, by weaving a beautiful cloth for the newborn child. Let us see the next stanza. In the second stanza, weavers weaving at fall of night, why do you weave a garment so bright? The poetess asks the question again to the weavers. O weavers, at the fall of night, that means this is the evening time. In the evening, she asked them, why are you weaving this garment with bright colors? The weavers answer her, they tell her, like the plumes of peacock, purple and green, we weave the marriage veils of queen. They are weaving marriage veils required for the function of a marriage of a queen. So, what is the color of the veils? The color is like the plumes of a peacock. What color is the plume of the peacock? It is purple and green. So, again, very vibrant and bright colored clothes they are making. So again we find a symbolism here that evening time is the most beautiful time of the day, and it is symbolic of the marriage of a person. The marriage of the person is compared with the evening time here, which is a very pleasant time. So let us see the third stanza. Weavers weaving solemn and still, what do you weave in the moonlight chill? Abhi, now the poetess says, O weavers, you are weaving, and what kind of mood you have? Very solemn and still. You are very solemn and still. That means you are very serious. And in this moonlight chill, what are you weaving here? Upon this, the weavers answer that we are weaving a dead man's funeral shroud. And what is the color of the shroud? It is white. And therefore they say, white as a feather and white as a cloud. What is the color? It is like white feather and white cloud. They are making the shroud for the dead man's funeral. Now, the time is night, and this time indicates old age and death of a person. It is symbolic of death, and therefore the mood of the weavers also is changed here. In earlier two stanzas they are very happy. At the time of birth, at the time of marriage, they are very happy. But now here, while making the dead man's shroud, they are very solemn, serious. So in the cool moonlight, they are weaving the shroud. In this way, we find that all the three stages of human life are explained by the poetess Sarojini Naidu in this poem. Now let us appreciate this poem. The title of the poem is Indian Weavers. That means weavers of India, that are artisans who prepare clothes for various occasions of life. And this is a poem which is written in very simple language. That is the speciality of this poem. Very simple words are used by the poetess. And this is a very short poem. There are only 12 lines, but a lot of meaning. It is a very meaningful poem it is. The poem is divided into 3 stanzas of 4 lines each, and the poem is musical. Poem has got musical quality because of its rhyme and rhythm in it. In this poem, the poetess depicts the 3 stages of human life. The 3 stages are birth, marriage and death. The weavers tell the poetess that they are weaving the clothes of a newborn baby, the marriage veils of a queen, and funeral shroud of a dead man. So this poem has a folk theme because it deals with the life of weavers. So it is the celebration of Indian weavers that we see in this poem. Here in this poem, 3 garments are made at 3 different times of a day. It is a metaphor of 3 events of life, that is birth, marriage and death. In this poem we find colloquial tone, that is conversational tone. There are question answers. The poetess asks questions in each stanza, and in the last 2 lines of each stanza the weavers reply her. They give her an answer, and in this way the dialogue form adds to the special charm of this poem. Then the rhyming words in this poem, let us see. Here, day and gay, then wild and child, then night and bright, after that green and queen, then still and chill, cloud and shroud. These are the rhyming words in the poem, and the rhyme scheme of the poem is AABB. Then let us try to understand about the imagery of the poem. The visual imagery in this poem is very beautiful because the poetess mentions different colors. The colors like blue of a kingfisher's wing, halcyon bird, etc. So blue color is mentioned here. Then the purple and green colors are mentioned here, and in the 3rd stanza white color is mentioned there. So we find the very good use of visual imagery in this poem, as she mentions various colors, and therefore we find that Sarojini Naidu was a poet of Indian thought, Indian men and women, Indian customs and traditions, Indian images and background. We find in her poem everything that is typically Indian. Now let us see the figures of speech that are used in this poem. So, in the first line, break of day. Here, break of day is indirectly compared with the beginning of life. So it is a metaphor. And then, poem begins with words like weavers weaving. So, W sound is repeated and it is alliteration. In the second line, we find garments so gay. Here G sound is repeated, so it is alliteration, and also interrogation is there because question is asked here. In the third line, blue as the wing, as is used here. So it is direct comparison between the blue color of a garment with the blue color of halcyon bird's wing. So it is simile. In the same line, we find alliteration also, blue as the wing of halcyon wild. So W here is repeated. So it is alliteration. In the same line, inversion is also there. The word order is changed here for poetic effect. Actually, the word order should be blue as the wing of wild halcyon. Instead of halcyon wild, it should be wild halcyon. Now in line number 5, we have got alliteration, weavers weaving, W sound is repeated. Then fall of night. Fall of night is indirectly compared with the most prosperous stage of life, that is marriage. Therefore it is a metaphor. Then next line, sixth line, we have got interrogation because question is asked here. Why do you weave a garment so bright? Is a question. And then why do you weave? Again alliteration is also there. Alliteration of W sound. Then next line, the bright garment here is compared to the plumage of a peacock, which is purple and green. The word like is used here, like the plumes of peacock, purple and green. So it is a simile. The word like is used here, so it is a simile. Then we also have inversion here, because the actual word order should be like the purple and green plumes of a peacock. It should be like this. Then in the next line we have we weave the marriage veils of a queen. Here W sound is repeated, so alliteration is there. In the next line, ninth line, again weavers weaving solemn and still. Weavers weaving, W sound is repeated and therefore it is alliteration. Again solemn and still, S sound is also repeated here, so it is alliteration. Then again moonlight chill, these words we find moonlight chill means it has been indirectly compared to end of life or death, and therefore it is a metaphor. Then again, what do you weave? W sound is repeated, therefore it is alliteration in this line. Then in the 11th line, the shroud is directly compared with white feather and white cloud. White as a feather, as is used here. Again as is used here, as a feather and as a cloud. So there is comparison between the color of the shroud and feather and cloud. So it is a simile. And here words are repeated, white as, white as. So there is repetition of words. The figure of speech is repetition here. In the last line, we weave. So W sound is repeated and it is an example of alliteration. Thank you.